Hi, Fernando. How are you tonight?
Hello, Juan David, bro. I'm very fine. How are you?
With a little of cold, but very good, Fernando.
Yeah, this night has been very cold, but I know maybe this topic results very interesting for tonight. So, do you mind if we start talking about the student participation in the university?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. So, I think for our partners, the teacher, and for us, it's important to explain a little bit about the general outline we developed in this project. So, would you mind if you explain why we choose this topic?
Right, of course. So we choose this topic because we want to promote and improve student intervention at the moment of projecting their areas of study and learning here in the Javeriana University. And can you explain to all of us what do we want to demonstrate?
Yes, of course. I think that the most important idea we had was to understand the necessity for a better understanding all around the target population requirements. And talking about this population is us, the students. So for that, we broke this image, which is about all the policies that the university developed around the 2014, in which they talk about all the participation for the students. So I think the most important by now is to understand how we get this essay, the structure of it. So can you explain us, please?
Of course. So we divide the say in five steps. We start uh, the introduction, the next step is the objective, the thesis, the argumentation, and finally the conclusion. So the first one, the introduction. This project is going to study the spaces and the activities of participation in the university at the moment of designing the different areas of study. This is to promote and improve the student intervention at the moment of project these areas.
That's right. So for that reason, the main objective we wanted to broad was to present the importance of the students' participation by first, yeah. But the most important for us was the idea to improve the way that the students' participation works in the university. So for this to going to increase like the participatory skills among the students, and also achieving to design better spaces within the campus for students where the true needs for of this specific population and for like a satisfactory fulfilled.
Okay. In this part of the essay, we start studying different um, research about this topic in different universities around the world, and we understand that the most important point here is to understand that the student participations makes two types of students at the university: the one who participate and the one who doesn't. The first one um, get more capacities here at the moment of their studies, and the next one feels that they don't belong there. Um, we have one example here at the university. Um, this is the architecture and design faculty. Um, this is the this one. This is not a successful example because the university doesn't uh, understand the needs of this group of students, and they doesn't respond to their needs. They didn't make a space to keep their models, and they have to work in very small spaces.
That's right. For that reason, we wanted to understand why this is happening and why these spaces are not like connected with the necessities of us, the students. So for that, we start the research to argumentate this thesis statement, in which we founded that the model of interaction between the students and the university itself is the one who is called the government spaces for student representation. What does this mean? That the university brings to us a lot of spaces, a lot of like places where we can participate very actively, like for example the cloisters, the government council, also the faculty board, and the study councils, between others. But we found that there are a lot of like spaces that are not very successfully because we cannot like being very heard by the university, And that's the reason we found this contest. This was developed between March the 24th and April the 4th. And this contest was called the Design Youth Faculty Contest, and was with the idea that we could like give and put on practice all that we learned in the academy to like give our idea of how these spaces where we study, where we give, like develop our leisure time, and we eat, we even sleep between some classes. So how can we imagine spaces? And that's the main like problem that has the faculty, that they don't give this kind of contest through all the years, but also it's been something very new, it's very recent, and it's the only one we found information about. So we thought that was the main important problem to start thinking about, and to uh, brought a lot of ideas of how can this be developed. First, like making better channels between the students and the university, because the university need to like make easier the way we understand this type of contest, we know about this, and like improve their channels, as I already mentioned, and the mechanisms of like participation, to make this better for our like learning process, and to understand a lot of how can we develop our professional process in the future.
Yes, and this is so important, Fernando, because this gives to to the students the opportunity to become the writer of these spaces. Also, when they start doing this, they understand all their needs. So this is very important. So finally, the our conclusion is that the Faculty of Architecture and Design should be starting promoting in a clearer and more restricting way the initiative that they take to make this student participation.
For example, the contest we already mentioned will be better for the student community to be like more clearly like explained and stuff like that. And to close our presentation and this video, we brought this quote made by Hilda Hernandez, the one who wrote the essay in which we based our investigation. And she says, to build a conscious, critical, and committed civilization, the university is, without a doubt, the formative instance per excellence, where it becomes a social, cultural, and political sense where idea, feelings, and projects are constantly confronted. And we think this evolves all the idea of the main objective and the main is thesis statement and argumentation we developed through all the project, that we need to understand we are not on in the university only to being becomes like machines in the main area we are like studying, in our case that is architecture and design, but also to be more conscious around all the policies, all the stuffs, and all the social life we are living in our city. And I don't know, Juan, if you want to say something to close.
No, Fernando, that's all.
Okay, thank you, bro. That was very
Thank
cool.
you.